I'm Roshni Mangnani, the Senior Executive of Global Relations at Infinium Global Research and the host for this talk show. We are here to talk about the sustainable future with vegan leather in the fashion industry. We come up with various talk shows with industry experts covering multiple market sectors like hospitality, healthcare, IT, and so on. In this video, we have a very special guest, Mr. Michael Ait. He's the co-founder and CEO of Beyond Leather Materials. He co-founded this brand in Copenhagen in 2017 with Hannah Mishu and created Leap, a sustainable leather alternative made from leftover apples. Leap creates 85% less CO2 and uses 99% less water than traditional leather production without the use of harmful chemicals. This innovative material was recognized at multiple startup competitions. Beyond Leather was a finalist at Creative Business Cup Denmark 2018, at Scale Up Denmark 2019, won the Climate 2020 competition, and is a finalist in this year's Social Innovation Tournament organized by European Investment Bank Institute. Beyond Leather's material Leap is going to debut in the fashion market and will be made available on an industrial scale by 2022. We are really glad to have you here for today's talk show.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Ait. I'm co-founder and CEO of Beyond Leather Materials, and we turn food waste into a beautiful, animal-free and sustainable leather alternative.
Beyond Leather is a classic example of luxury fashion going vegan. Even without the industrial launch of Leap, Beyond Leather has received a lot of recognition. What was the intention behind starting your brand, and how did you manage to get it to the position where it is today?
Alright, so I have to go a little bit back because everything started 4 years ago, and everything started with my business partner Hannah, who had the idea to turn food waste into something with a high value during her studies in Copenhagen, where they had to experiment with waste and create something new, a course about biomimicry. And Hannah chose the apple pulp, so everything that is left over after pressing apples, we just choose and or cider, and try to create something out of it. And she was quite successful quite fast and saw potential in this waste stream and started a company. And I joined like half a year later, and together we looked into the options for this kind of material, because at the beginning it looked very, very rough, and we had to figure out what can we do with it. So for example, we tried to think about maybe we can use it for wall panels as decor, but we looked into different industries and looked into challenges and problems, and the more we read about the leather industry, the more we realized that this industry is just not, we cannot continue like we're doing it today. There needs to be a change. This industry is ripe for a change. So we decided Beyond Leather has to create a sustainable animal-free leather alternative. And also when we looked into what other options are there besides animal leather, we just learned that there's like a synthetic leather which came in the last century. So at the end of the day, that's just like a textile coated with plastic, which can also be called vegan leather, by the way. And then we understood, no one needs more plastic in this world. So when we learned that most of the animal leather and synthetic leather is not an eco-friendly option, we really learned there needed to be an option number 3 here, something we call a plant-based leather. A plant-based leather that we have created here, this is Leap. Leap is made from apple pulp. We said all the leftovers from juice and cider production. We have developed a patented technology that allows us to turn this low value waste into a high value product that looks and feels like leather and also performs more and more like leather. At the end of the day, our product is animal free, it is sustainable, it requires only 1% of the amount of water that animal leather does today, and it emits way less CO2. And of course, we don't need any toxic chemicals.
Starting from scratch in 2017, what were the obstacles and challenges you faced while setting up your business?
Starting a business is very, very challenging. You have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing. You have to love what you're doing. You have to have a lot of patience, and you have to understand that you will not have a life. Because there's a lot of working hours, like also the days are, success and failure are so close to each other. In the morning everything can go very smooth, and then after lunch everything just doesn't go as you plan. But it doesn't help. The next day you have to stand up and keep pushing. That's a big challenge I see. But again, if you love what you're doing, then you can manage it. One of the biggest challenges I see is time. It just takes a lot of time and effort to create a new material. Like on average, a big company, a corporate, it takes 5 years to create a market-ready material. And we are a small company, and we are now in the 4th year. So if you think about it, we have 1 year left to create something amazing. Another big challenge I see is, it is hard when you think about our values and what we're trying to create. So we're trying to create real sustainable material that fulfills or that solves all the problems that leather industry has today, or industries have today, also fashion industry has today, because we believe in transparency. So that makes it very hard, because other companies, or it's not common in the industry to communicate clearly how you make your material and what you use. More often companies actually just say what they don't use and try in that way to mislead the consumer. That's something we don't want to do. And if you think about it, it could make us look a little bit weaker, but I think actually it makes us stronger, because we create trust with people. Actually the drive to change something has to come from the consumer, so you have to give the consumer a tool to move forward. And we believe LEAP can be this tool to make a change. And also in terms of transparency, an example I want to bring in here is that we completely clearly state that today we use fossil fuel ingredients to coat our material. Why are we doing this? We're doing this to achieve a high quality, because it's not sustainable if you create a material that breaks down after a year or so. Our products shouldn't fail us. That's why we have this coating layer, which has a few amount of plastic, but we're working towards that by 2024 we will be completely plastic free. That's our goal, that's our mission, and that's what we're going to do.
The adoption of vegan culture has increased significantly due to the rising awareness about animal cruelty and environmental concerns. Going forward, do you see the fashion industry switch to vegan fabrication processes to serve the changing consumer preferences?
Very good question. I 100% do believe in it. I wouldn't say that veganism is the right term to choose here. I would look more into an eco-friendly mindset that I believe in, and I believe that more and more people are adopting this mindset. We can just not continue how we did it in the past and how we are still doing it today. And say, for example, Fridays for Future, kids have shown us how it should be done and how we have to move forward if we really want to make a change. This is now the time to do it, otherwise it will be too late. But a big thing that every one of us can do, and people are doing already, is changing, for example, their diet from an animal-based diet to a more and more plant-based diet. So for me, it's just in a way logic that when people consume less animal products, there's less need for example, farm animals, and therefore there is a lower amount of possible co- and byproducts. Let's say, for example, leather. There will be less skins available. That means we actually need to find an alternative for leather, because the main resource for leather will become lower and lower. We will have less available. It's just logic. So we have to start to develop alternatives no matter what. As I see it, fashion is also a reflection of society. So the fashion industry is actually perfect for leading this change towards animal-free fabrics.
What opportunities do you see arising with the vegan leather market, and which factors drive this market?
Another big factor that drives this market is, of course, the trend. If you want to call it trend, it's more like a movement towards veganism. So people started to consume less animal products, and not just for their diet, but also in terms of what kind of products they buy. Before it was just the beginning. You will see that the same will happen in a way to leather, and is already happening. People are demanding animal-free products. You can see, for example, Tesla, who is not using any animal products in the interior. They banned animal leather from the interior years ago. We want to lead us into a new future by actually delivering a material that is animal-free, sustainable, and also has a very high quality that is as durable as animal leather is, and has the same great features that animal leather has. So I think now we have the chance to move away from fast fashion and give the consumer the option to buy eco-friendly products that at the same time have a very high quality.
Keeping sustainable development in mind, our research expects the global vegan leather market to grow at a CAGR of 48.1% over the forecast period of 2020 to 2026. What do you think is the future scope of this industry?
Actually, I have to say, weird beyond leather, we don't like the term vegan leather because it's very misleading. It was a great term that was invented by marketing experts, but it's not good for the consumer because people often see, when they hear the word vegan, they think something is sustainable, and that's definitely not true. Thinking about synthetic leather that is just pure plastic can be also called vegan leather. Yeah, that's not sustainable. But anyway, I think it's also very important that we differentiate between the vegan leather market, which I want to call now the synthetic leather market, and the plant-based leather market, where I see our product leaping. Now that we know that there are actually two different markets who are growing a lot, I see, of course, the synthetic leather market will grow very, very fast. But what I even believe in more is that a very tiny market today will, the sky will be the limit for the plant-based leather market. And as soon as we have more alternatives out there, which we definitely need, the faster this will grow, and it will take over not only the animal leather market, also the synthetic leather market. Plant-based is the future.
On this note, I would like to thank Mr. Mikhail Ait for paving a pathway towards a sustainable future and for being a part of this talk show. We appreciate your precious insights. The Millennials and Gen Z generations are beginning to question the impact of genuine leather on the environment. They are even willing to pay extra for sustainable product offerings. Besides, veganism is on the rise, which has led to hundreds of fashion brands to tap into the sustainable fashion space. The vegan leather market is expected to cross $100 billion mark by 2030, as we are in the decade of conscious consumers. Vegan leather is set to become the future of fashion, with the world's biggest fashion brands such as Tommy Hilfiger, Gucci, Chanel, and many more shifting from traditional leather to an animal-friendly substitute. As innovative technologies are taking over the fashion industry, conscious consumers will be increasingly exposed to leather alternatives and vegan-friendly materials. Thank you viewers for watching this video. If you wish to get in touch with the guest speaker or seek insights into the vegan leather market, please find the links attached in the description below. Infinium Global Research provides high-quality market research reports to help you strategize and improvise your business decisions. If you wish to consult with us for your business, please find us at www.infiniumglobalresearch.com. I'll see you next time with a different market analysis of your interest. Stay tuned with Infinium Global Research, keeping up with the market trends.